Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing this bootleg Oozaru figure, or unofficial kind of figure, since as far as I can tell the sculpt is unique and is not based on anything that previously exists. There's not a lot of large Oozaru stuff around at the moment that's not a fairly expensive statue kind of stuff, so I figured I'd pick this up and give it a look. And it's not too terrible, although it's not amazing. It originates from Mexico. Mexico does seem to make a lot of unofficial Dragon Ball Z products. I guess Dragon Ball Z is popular in Mexico, question mark? Probably. I don't know. And it is based off of the Vegeta Oozaru sort of design, although it is not really accurate to a specific depiction, because he's not wearing the armor that he had. He's wearing later sort of series armor. Now, starting off with a quick size comparison, the Oozaru is stated to be about 15 inches tall, and he is around the 14 to 15 inch kind of mark if you go to the top of the hands. So he doesn't really scale well with much, because Oozarus are huge, but at least it is a way to have a large Oozaru on the shelf. Here you can see him compared with standard Marvel Legends 6-inch Cosmic Armor Iron Man, 3 3/4 inch Marvel Universe Wolverine, and SH Figure Arts Goku. So you can get a good idea of how he might look on a shelf with your Dragon Ball Z stuff, or whatever you might want to use him with. And back to the Oozaru himself. Like I said earlier, he is wearing later sort of series armor, so it's more like a Cell, Android Saga kind of armor. No shoulder pads, but the blue undersuit, white gloves, white boots, and then it has the sculpted tips, and the sculpted gold armor parts. The paint quality is honestly really bad, and the main fault of this figure is the sculpt looks pretty decent, but it's just not painted very cleanly, and the gold paint, which really shouldn't be gold in the first place, comes off all over my hands. It looks like I've been rubbing my hands in glitter anytime I touch this figure, which means I will almost definitely repaint it at some point, because I don't even actually want it on my shelf right now covering other things in gold paint. But either way, apart from the paint, I think the sculpt work is pretty decent, and he would look good with some modification. Let's go ahead and zoom in on his head sculpt. Head sculpt-wise, it's pretty much the same thing I said for the body. The sculpt work is pretty decent, pretty simplistic, but it looks like an Oozaru head in pretty much every way that matters. It's got all the fur sculpted, all the inside of the mouth detail is sculpted, the eyes look fine, everything's shaped properly and everything, but the paint's really cheap looking and not applied evenly or really in the right spots in some places. But at least this paint doesn't come off on my hands. Either way, it still looks tolerable, I suppose, but like I said, I would probably repaint it. Now let's go ahead and move on to some articulation. When I got this figure, I honestly wasn't even expecting it to be articulated, but he's got sort of hollow plastic body sort of construction, so he is covered with cut joints at every point where the pieces are connected pretty much. His head rotates sort of barely out of this weird little divot that it's in. Shoulders rotate, gloves rotate, waist rotates, and the boots rotate, and it seems like the tail might be supposed to rotate, but mine seems like it's barely attached, and if I move it, it's just going to come off. So, yeah, that might be supposed to move. So overall, you're not really going to be able to change his pose up that much. You might could get it to look sort of like he's punching something, but for the most part, he's still going to be in that big, roaring, chest-pounding looking kind of pose. Which is fine, I suppose. It's a very common Oozaru kind of pose. Now, he comes with no accessories, and the packaging that he was in was literally just a big, clear plastic bag. So that about wraps it up for the Oozaru. So until next time, goodbye. Thanks for watching one of my videos. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like the video or subscribe if you would like to see my future content. If not, run away. Run away and never return. Also, feel free to support me on Patreon at patreon.com/vrreviews, follow me on Twitter at venomraptor09, or follow me on Instagram at instagram.com/vrreviews. Thank you, and goodbye.